Yo, what up, guys? This is Donald, aka D-Bot here, along with my co-host, Alex. Thank you so much for downloading and listening to our show.
Before we get started, I got to ask you to please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Give us a follow on Spotify. Screenshot and tag us on Twitter and Instagram. We're at the West Box Score. Our social links will be in the show notes. D-Bot, it's been a minute since we've gotten together to do a podcast.
Yes, it has.
So why not get together for a big monumental event like a Trafico?
Yes,
right?
Exactly, man. And also, please be sure to follow Sonny on Twitter and Instagram. He's at the Fox Crate. That is our third co-host. Check out his podcast as well, along with Primo Rick.
What's it called? It's called the Fox Crate, right?
The Fox Crate podcast.
So it sounds like it's a podcast about hunting foxes. Is that what it's about?
No, man. It's actually a show about music and vinyl.
Would have never guessed by that title.
These guys are vinyl collectors. So they talk about their adventures in vinyl collecting.
Oh, so that's and crate digging, perhaps?
Crate digging is the...
okay. Now it's starting to make a little bit of sense. Thank you for explaining it to me.
Exactly.
Also, be sure to check out our ever-growing Discord. Sonny, don't send me hate mail. I can already see you typing it. also, be sure to check out our ever-growing Discord group. Check the invite link. That's going to also be in our show notes. Big shout-outs to Big Money Matt Baz, Billy Delgado, Nahum Galdamez, Parker McDaniels, Brianna Flores, JV Ortiz, Rick Esparza, and Clipper Pablo is on there too. And spoiler alert, you've already downloaded this episode, so please listen to it, even though Clipper Pablo is on the show today.
Yeah.
So sorry.
And big shout out to Big Money Matt, man. He hooked us up with this.
Dude,
right now.
The episode you're listening to this week is exclusively produced by Big Money Matt Paz this week.
Yeah, it is.
The Roadcaster courtesy, the Shure SM57s, the Shure SM58s, the Shure SM48s. I mean, XLR cables.
He came through.
Everything.
You know, I sent him a text. I told him, hey, man, we're going to go to El Trafico. And we were thinking about doing a post show, but obviously we want to keep it cash as we always do. But Can you hook us up with some handheld mics so we could just kind of like knock it out right afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
And he came through. He was like, yeah, come, here they are. Come pick them up. Took a photo. I went through the studio, picked them up. And now we're here doing this.
This podcast brought to you by exclusive producer credit for Big Money Matt Boz on this podcast for sure this week, as opposed and all other weeks too. I mean, it's more low key, but this time it was very extravagant with the setup he gave us this week. So thank you, Big Money Matt.
And finally, check out Sailor's Brew Coffee, a local roastery here in Pasadena, California, focused on single-origin Ethiopian coffees and luxury coffees. They stand for positive motivation and are advocates for appreciating and experiencing coffee for how it's meant to be, with no additives. Our listeners will get 10% off their first order using our code WBS10. That is 10% off using our code WBS10, as in West Box Score 10. And we also have an affiliate link that's in our show notes. So please, if you guys are going to get some good coffee there, which is amazing, use that link as it helps out this show.
Yeah, I think that's important. That you have to use that affiliate link, even if you're not getting your first, bag.
Yeah.
You know, if this is your second, third, fifth, 10th, like it should be.
Yeah.
Use our affiliate link. You need to do that because that will help out the show.
Exactly.
We get a little something for it, and then you're going to help out this podcast. You're going to help out yourself by getting some good ass coffee. So be sure to use that affiliate link that's in our show notes. So with all that said, it's time for a Trafico talk. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. So here we are after a Trafico Part 3 of this 2021 MLS season. I'm here with D-Bot Donald Paz, Clipper Pablo, and making his West Box Score debut, my cousin, Joseph Garcia, LAFC supporter number 1.
That's right.
Right?
Exactly.
Welcome to the show. So your LAFC supporting crew was out in full effect out there in Carson.
We look good out there, man.
Yeah. You guys went in the stands all the time.
Hey, we look good in the stands no matter where we go.
But, there was a lot of you guys out there tonight.
Yeah, no, not just the supporting section, but also around the whole stadium. There's a lot of fans out of LAFC today.
There was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the only time I see Galaxy fans come out is to see when they play.
And the Galaxy
rivals.
fans brought you got LAFC fans out. I was one of them.
You were? You know what I
A
mean?
guy in the row on our row too was brought an LAFC fan.
Yeah, he was upset, but
he was upset. He was very upset the whole time, man. Very
Yeah.
upset. I mean, it was upsetting second half of football. to
had
watch.
2 LAFC fans in front of us.
Oh yes, they were.
And then
they were your
the
compas.
box behind us was nothing but LAFC
Oh,
fans.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh man,
See?
they had this time for the first game this season at Dignity House Sports Park. It was very limited attendance. We went earlier this year. It was myself. It was D-Bot. It was Rick Esparza, and it was Sonny Hermano, who does the podcast with us too. And there was no traveling section. So that's why we didn't see your 32, 512, 310 section up there.
3252.
Is that what it's called? Okay. And so they weren't there in that top corner like they were tonight. And it was cool to see. It was really cool to see opposing, like a section of opposing fans. I think that's a cool thing about soccer, that they have that. Because there's always that sprinkling of rival fans whenever you go to baseball games, basketball games, football games, what have you.
Yeah.
Right? There's always a mixture. But I love that soccer has that section. And what did you think? How did you guys show up today? On the field, at least.
On the field, I think we could have played a lot better. You know what I mean? Our defense is still struggling. Offensively, we got to shoot the ball. That's really all it is. Let's cross the ball, get it into the center, and just take a shot. It seems like every time we get into the box, there's hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Oh, I don't want to shoot it. You shoot it." You know what I mean? Like,
Very true.
and with Arango, excuse me, he could have took a shot early, and he dribbled the ball for a few times back and forth, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
But we have potential. We have the like, it's there for us. It's just the opportunities. I don't think we capitalize on them, and that's really all it is. We got to capitalize.
That's very true. And I agree with you. I see the same thing from my Galaxy. Like exactly what you're saying. I could say the same thing about my Galaxy. In the box, too many passes, looking for the perfect shot rather than just trying to get a shot on.
Because sometimes the deflection is all it takes, and it goes in.
You never know.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And it's just it's a tale of both of these teams that are at the bottom of the playoff bracket there. That
we're both
potential.
fighting to get in. You guys are in right now. We're fighting to get in,
and we're fighting to stay in at this point. I mean, at one point early in the season, the Galaxy were playing above their punching above their weight class. Right? They were almost in contention for supporter shield. That's how crazy it was early on. But obviously, they've cream rises to the top, and the Galaxy are no longer there because they don't deserve to
I think
be
it has
there.
to do with injuries as well.
Injuries too,
You
but
mean-
it's also, and it's so funny because the Galaxy now, after today's draw, are on a 9-game winless streak.
Yeah.
And this is when Chicha came back in the middle of this winless streak.
Yeah, but in the beginning of the season, he was on fire.
He was on fire and got hurt.
I mean, he got hurt. He hasn't came back the same. I'm not exactly sure what his injury was,
The hamstring
but
injury.
yeah, hamstring, right?
Yeah. Same one as last year.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking because it's been known for his career. He's not that hustle guy up front. You know what I mean?
That's true.
If the ball gets to him, the ball gets to him.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
I mean,
That's your guys' struggle.
that's
'cause
right.
It's him, and then
So-
the other guy's trying to get him the ball, and it just.
And the team should, cater to that skill of his. If
If that's your top player, yeah,
coaching goes. So,
that's what he does.
speaking of top players, your top player wasn't on the field today.
No,
Carlos
he hasn't
Vela.
been on the field.
How long has he been out now?
Well, I think this is sixth, seventh game.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is he
so-
going to come back at all this year?
I don't think he is. There's people saying, "Oh, he's going to come back for the last 3 games," or
What's wrong with him?
hamstring. He injured his hamstring earlier in the season. He was out, missed. I want to say a couple games. Then again, same thing.
Yeah.
But well, the players know if they're up for it, they're up for it. But in my opinion, I think the injury isn't that bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's a nag. It's still nagging him. Where I think he's like at maybe 80%.
Mm.
I mean,
Is it worth it to try to push him to come play at 80%?
for our
Knowing-
team, yeah.
Right?
For
Knowing
him
that
as a professional, as him trying to move on in his career, no.
Mm.
It's just my personal opinion. As a team, yes. As just because the opposing team will attract that he will attract that attention no matter where he goes.
And that would help the club.
It would help
right?
the club. But a career standpoint, no.
Mhm.
And
He
this is why I find the irony in why Vela wouldn't go put the club first, because this is why he claims he didn't care about getting called to E3 anymore, that he's focused on his club. That was always his argument. So then now why don't you put the club first?
So
Was Vela a liar?
no, he's not, I don't think he's a liar.
Okay.
Okay, because let's be honest, there's a lot of players who don't want to go play for El3 anymore. There's a lot
Who
of
else?
players. Chicharito doesn't want to go. They've called him, and he won't go.
I don't think they call Chicharito.
No, they have.
Funes Mori.
No, they have. He won't go. Look at Giovanni Dos Santos.
Okay.
How long? How
That's
long
possible. Yeah.
you mean how long has it been since he's played with
Mhm.
El3?
Yeah.
I
it's
mean,
been a
and
while.
he says the same thing that Vela had said before. It's too many politics,
Mm,
and they rather not deal with it.
Wow.
interesting.
So and Giovanni is a great player.
Mhm.
I think he's better than Jonathan, in my opinion.
Oh no, I think you're
You
right.
know what
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't think we get to see
Yeah.
from that in the
Oh, for
inside
sure.
standpoint
For sure.
with El3.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got some great players there. But I just don't think Vela. It's Vela in his prime didn't want to go play. So
Mm, yeah. So now, after there's about 5-6 games left in the season,
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say.
how confident are you that LAFC makes the playoffs?
70%,
70%.
70%.
That's pretty high.
That's pretty high, man.
You think so?
I think that's pretty
No,
optimistic.
in a good thing, in a good way, I think. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's saying my optimism. Yeah, you got a lot of hope.
It's a good hope, though. I love the way it's 70-30, obviously, but it's like a 30%. Like, is it realism or is it like a defeatist?
No, it's definitely a 70% chance we can make it.
Yeah.
There's that 30% chance I don't think we're gonna make it. Like,
right. Oh,
you know what I mean? There's the 70 we can. If we win our games, we're not gonna need no help. We just gotta win. You know what I mean?
oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
So if we win, we'll be good. We have some tough games coming up with Seattle, San Jose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, we're playing FC Dallas. I mean, we I don't know why, but we struggle with them sometimes.
Hey.
But other than that, I don't really see any tough out. We're done with Galaxy.
Right.
I mean, which probably is we come out the hardest against them, and they come out. I think we bring the best out of both.
It's a Trafico game, so you
Yeah,
never know what
so-
could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so recapping the Trafico game, it's one of those things in that first half, right? LAFC scores first, and I love your buddies in the front were ecstatic, like they had just won their first ever MLS Cup. Isn't that
Nah.
odd? Wasn't that celebration seemed a little over the top, or is it just me being a
No,
hater?
because look at your celebration after.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I-
I think you're being a hater. Yes.
Am I being a hater?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Because your guys' celebration after you guys scored was kind of like, oh yeah, like overboard.
I mean, I do what I always do.
I get it.
I do
get
what
it.
I
You guys are
always
at
do when we
home. It's
score.
a home game for you guys.
I do my hands up and down dance, alternating up, and that's what I do every time they score. So to me, I was being right at the line I'm excited for every Galaxy goal I see live.
No, but I expected it to be a more scoring game,
Right.
considering both defenses give up a lot of points, right? So I expected it to end in 3-2. I called the last game
draw.
that we went to was a
Right.
draw.
Mhm.
I said it was going to be 2-2, and I called the actual play where the Galaxy scored.
Yes, you
Right
did.
when they scored, I said
Yeah.
this is where they're going to give it up because we're known to give up late goals.
Mhm.
And as soon as I said our goalie should have kept possession and just handed it off to one of our defenders. Instead, he kicks it all the way across field.
Mhm.
And what happens? You guys
Run it
dribble the
back.
ball down and score within 30, not even 30 seconds, 25
That's right.
seconds,
Mhm.
20
Yeah.
seconds. And that's just what we're known to do is we instead of keep possession or we give up late goals. That's LAFC.
Who do you blame for that? Do you blame the coach? Do you want Bob Bradley out?
I don't think it's necessarily Bob Bradley's fault because when we had that 4-game winning streak,
Yeah.
nobody was saying, "Oh, it's Bob Bradley." Then
Mhm.
you know what I mean, or they were saying, "Oh, Bob Bradley's making good substitutions. He's you know what I mean, he's
Yeah.
bringing in players at the right time."
Doing
And
his job.
then when he loses, it's like, "Oh, okay, it's his fault."
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's like he can't be the players. He can't, hey, hustle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not out there telling them, hey, we got to do. He tells them like, hey, we got to do this. We're going to do these positions. We're going to defend this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than that, it's not really his fault because I feel the way we're defending, it has to do more of our decision making as the players
Mhm.
instead of just as the coaching. You mean?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they're professional players. There's only so much you can teach them.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true.
So, unfortunately, most of the time, they will blame the coach and they will be the first to go if something happens.
Pablo, I gotta ask you, as somebody who doesn't have a dog in this fight for Trafico, and you're a Seattle Sounders
No.
fan.
Full disclosure, though, I mean, I used to follow the Galaxy a lot more back in the day. Now I kind of stopped watching, but go on.
But so now you've officially made the jump to Seattle Sounders.
That's not
FC.
true. No.
You said this.
No,
He said he's been watching
I've
them.
been watching them
You
whenever
He
I
never,
can.
because I asked him earlier. I said, I heard you were a Seattle Sounders fan. He's like, no, but I have been watching them earlier.
Yeah.
You're part of the 12
In fact, they're
now,
playing right now. I'm not watching.
You're just Team Rudias.
Yes.
More important. You're not
Yes.
necessarily Sounders fan. You're a Rudias fan.
Yeah, I root for him.
Yes. Okay. So
He's a great player.
He is
He's
great.
one of my favorite players
MVP.
in MLS.
I mean, that's debatable. That's still not a.
I think he could win it.
He should. He probably should. But the New England player.
Yeah, that's stupid.
He's got a lot of goals. I
Forgot his name. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
but
forget
he's
his
like
name.
leading the Golden Boot race right now as
Yeah.
we speak.
But
It's
not
no
by many,
longer
right?
Rudias. What?
By a couple.
I think it's
by
by
a few.
3.
By a few.
Leading by
So,
3 goals.
All right.
I mean, but that's nothing to Rudias, as you know. He can
Yeah,
just
of
get
course.
hot and start bringing the goals in by the bucket.
Yep, that's
So-
what he does.
As unbiased watching this match, what did you feel was the draw outcome? Do you feel it was deserved? Do you feel one team looked better than the other?
You know what? The first half was very entertaining. I think in the second half, LAFC kind of played a little better, in my opinion. I think it goes back to the problems that you guys were talking about, shooting ball or like don't dribble too much. That being said, the Galaxy had a couple of very close calls there in the second half.
There was a crossbar. Both teams hit the
Two.
crossbar.
I
And there
think
was
two in
one-
the second
One
half.
was a post that the Galaxy hit.
Yeah, so
it was pretty close.
Very unlucky. Very unlucky. You would
and
say.
so I think the draw, I would say it was fair.
It was fair.
Yes.
So, knowing you don't watch much MLS, right? But in seeing this brand of soccer, which team looks more interesting that you would want to watch their next match?
That I would want to watch their next
what's wrong with that
match.
question?
Because he hasn't been to the bank
So
yet.
this is what you'll always say.
No.
The Bank Stadium. So
No, but let me
Hold on,
ask
let him
you
answer
no, let me
first.
ask
Yeah,
you one thing. How many people have changed their mind after being to the bank?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Ask him.
You told me.
Am I? Or is that-
No, but what did you say about the bank? The bank is nice. The bank
It's
is
a
a lot
nice
more
stadium.
fun.
No,
You did say it was entertaining.
It was,
Whoa,
I remember saying everything I've said to you, I've said on this podcast, and I said, yes, it's a good atmosphere to watch soccer games. Yes. However, it's really funny that they have their mics set up on the 3252. They play throughout the stadium.
They don't do that.
They do that, though. They do that.
But once again, so I am curious to know: have you ever taken someone and they're like, "Oh yeah,
Beside
no,
your daughter.
Beside, yeah, my cousin.
and
my
he
other
turned into
He's not a big soccer fan. He follows European soccer and,
Okay.
and like World Cup, you know what I mean, or Gold Cup stuff like that. But as far as the MLS, he's not really, he doesn't really follow it.
yeah,
But he's been to a Galaxy game. You know what I mean?
and didn't do it for him.
And no, he did. He said he liked going to LAFC Stadium better because this is not me saying this. This is him. Okay,
Get him on the
He's-
phone.
I'll call him if you want. If he's not at
Put
work,
him on the speakerphone right
You know what I mean? This is what he said. He said that he prefers the atmosphere at LAFC Stadium and that there's a lot more fans.
Ooh.
So this is that is what he said. Okay.
Ah.
And he's gone with me to 2 games, and he's got an LAFC hat now, but he doesn't. He said,
Is this a younger cousin?
He's I want to say he's 27.
Is this a cousin who looks up to you?
No,
Okay.
he's married.
Because he might be
married.
influenced.
He's married into the family.
You. Oh, okay.
He's married into, so he's not like my blood relative. Like
Okay,
Alex.
okay.
You know what I
Because
mean?
sometimes, like your older cousin, your older brother will
And
do
you
something, and you're like,
want them-
oh, I want to do what he does.
I'm so
Yeah.
like him. I'm impressed.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
no.
I just want to make sure.
No, so he wasn't like an LA Galaxy fan, and then he switched over to LAFC. So he wasn't like an MLS really involved into
Right.
MLS, but he has gone because people invited him to go to a Galaxy game and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
Is he from LA? Like born and raised in LA,
Yeah.
or is he from somewhere
Yeah.
else?
Well, he's born in LA, but he goes to Mexico. Like he's always been back
Okay.
and forth from Mexico to LA.
Okay.
So he's raised kind of like on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watch whenever, like, if I see LAFC is on TV, I'll watch. If I
Yeah.
see Galaxy's on, I'll watch. I don't go out of my way to watch it.
Right.
But that being said, I do want to make it to the bank
And
because
honestly,
it looks like a
I-
very cool
I think you
atmosphere.
should. As 100%, I think you should. I think it is a fun atmosphere to watch a soccer game. 100% it is. And I could see why somebody who has really no allegiance to either club going to both with zero allegiance might sway toward LAFC. I could totally understand that right now. This day, 2021, I could see why they would. It's shinier.
Let's not.
It's shinier.
It's not
prettier.
just because it's new though.
But
The way they made the stadium is really nice. It's close. The environment you're close to the field. You know what I mean? Even at the very top, it doesn't seem that far away.
And we can totally edit this out, but I am super curious. How did you become an LAFC fan?
Okay, so
Great question.
No. I was never a Galaxy fan. I was never Chivas USA. I didn't really follow.
So you admit Chivas USA?
No, well,
was
because they played
LAFC.
here. I'm saying because they
Okay.
played here. You know what I mean? So like I was never was like soccer. I was Europe
Sure.
and Mexico. You know what I mean? Because my family's from Mexico, so Cruz Azul is the team I follow.
Nobody's perfect.
so I wasn't into MLS. So the reason, like, that's why I give when Landon Donovan and stuff, I'll give him his respect because I was Team USA. You know what I mean? Like I'm a Mexico fan first, but if Team USA is on, I will watch.
That's a great debate.
I will watch
a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
Wait.
I will watch Team USA because I root for Team USA unless they're playing Mexico.
Sure.
You see?
Always.
Yeah,
Always.
you know what I mean? So it's because it's where your family's from, it's your bloodline. You know what I mean? So it carries a lot of, you know.
Oh no, I'm with you. But
So-
2018 came around.
No, I still root for Mexico.
No. But like
When
how did you?
LAFC comes
Yeah, when
into the
LAFC.
So at that time when MLS, like, you know, I was just like, you know what? Hey, why not? That was kind of more of my thing. You know what I mean? Because my daughter's we like something to do with my kids and something as just, you know, I like to go to sporting events. So I'm always at different sporting events. You know what I mean? Like I've sat ringside at a lot of boxing fights. You know what I mean? Football games. Like I'm into sports. You know what I mean? So the only soccer I got to see, because I don't live in Mexico, right? I don't attend any games out there. And then I've never gone to a Team USA game unless they were playing Mexico out here. And so when I've seen Mexico play Jamaica, Canada,
The Rose Bowl.
and other teams, you know. So when Mexico comes, I play. I'll go watch. You know what I mean? I'll go to the stadium.
So this team gets created, but you had
Vela.
Okay, there it is.
Yo.
So that's
okay.
where that you're asking why I decided to follow them.
Yeah,
When did
because
it
there was a
happen?
team. If you had wanted to go,
So Dos Santos was already Giovanni was there, right?
Yeah.
And I was a Giovanni fan when he was with Mexico, but for some reason it just never, because he was on Team Mexico. He's not that star. He was at that point when he was playing for El Tri, he was I want to say a role player.
A role player.
But he wasn't never the star. See, when Vela was playing,
so
he
when
was
the star they brought the
he
star.
was the star.
Okay,
Right?
that makes
and
sense.
I love watching Vela with El Tri. I always like Vela more than Chicharito. Always. Never. There's never.
Oh.
There's never.
That's debatable.
No.
It's no debate, actually.
Yeah, there's no, like, for me there was never a debate. Chicharito, I felt, was always, he got the glamour light because he scored goals off of bouncing balls or
there it is.
deflections. You know what I
Doesn't
mean?
he hold the record in Mexico for most goals
Yes.
scored? Okay.
Yes. But Vela always, he had the footwork, he had the dribbling skills, he had, you know what I mean? So it attracted me. I like I'm a big Ronaldinho fan because of that.
Yeah.
Because he can dribble, he can, you know what I mean? That, and I love that. That's what attracts me to certain soccer players.
Yeah.
Is the dribbling and the fakes and all that. But so when I heard they were getting Vela.
Yeah.
I got season ticket. I was like, yo, this is Vela.
This is it.
You know what I mean?
This is
This is my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is my guy. You know what I mean? So like David Beckham, you know what I mean? I don't really watch English Premier League that much. I'm more of Spain. I
Yeah.
watch. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't
You had no real appeal until they brought in a player you were
that
really
I
familiar
was
with
following, that I was
and that
familiar
you
with.
loved.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? So when David Beckham came out, oh, like that's cool. You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
didn't attract me because I'm not a David Beckham fan. I'm not
Yeah.
an English Premier.
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane. You know that wasn't my thing. I've always been the Spanish league. Like that's, to me, that's the best league in the world. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a whole nother debate.
It used
It
to be.
is. And it's
It was lately.
for a long.
It hasn't.
It hasn't been because you got all these
lately.
players leaving to other places. You know what I mean? Like you got Ronaldinho back at Manchester United. You know what I mean?
Ronaldo, yeah.
Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo, and then what's his name? Just Messi went to PSG. So you got all these stars that were at places that's left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But still, to this day, I still think Barcelona's gonna fall off. I mean,
they already have.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're not gonna be that rock star of a team that
I
they
think
were.
for the next 2-3 seasons, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad before they could turn it around, and a lot of it has to do with the financials. It's funny how it has to do with the fact that there's just no money or whatever. It's really a terrible.
I don't know, because look at Atletico.
Really
we're paying players. Atletico's came up.
No,
You
but
mean?
I mean, Barcelona had a terrible financial situation.
Yeah.
Like they overdid it. They, you know what I mean. That was their demise. Like they imploded.
And then we weren't having no fans going to the games for you know what I mean? It's like, whoa.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, no, exactly. They're going to be horrible.
But that's
for the
why I
next couple
became
of
the
seasons.
LAFC fan, bro. Because
Yeah.
they
No,
brought
it
Vela.
makes sense.
You know what I mean? And where was Vela when he started? He was young Barca.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's right.
So, and I'm not a Barca fan. I'm
So
Atletico.
were the Dos Santos brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the La Masia. They played for Barcelona B.
So we all agree Barca's the best team.
No. I think for a long time though that they had the best farm, like the farm system, like you know how baseball.
I was gonna just say that. I know we're getting into a Barcelona debate.
Yeah.
But that was a part of the also thing that La Masia was like the top, academy for that time, especially with Messi coming out. Like it felt like for the moment it was like, dang, any player that comes out of this place, if you can poach them from Barcelona, like you got something good for your squad. And now that's not the case. Man City, PSG, they're all producing great players, and Barca, for whatever reason, has never evolved from that point. It's almost like they thought they had something that worked, and the game has evolved from that.
And they kind of refuse to change.
And they refuse to change,
Yeah.
and that's really what, there's a lot of factors. I know it's its own episode, the demise of Barcelona.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the next one.
Yeah, no, but that's why I became an LAFC fan.
Yeah.
Because I heard Carlos Vela was coming. You know what I mean? And like he likes to say, "Oh, the brand new toy." It wasn't that. It was the fact that I was attracted. This is the guy who I like from Team Mexico. You know what I mean? And I've followed his career. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't, like I said, I've Spanish, the Spanish league, the Mexican league, Liga MX. You know what I mean? So that's just
Vela was at La Liga, right? Before?
when he was real young. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't that where he came from though? Like when they signed him?
Yeah.
Was it?
Was he at Villarreal?
Villarreal or Sevilla? Was it?
So,
No, Chicha was at Sevilla.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Before he came.
yeah. I think I'm not quite sure, but I know he was Liga MX.
La Liga.
La Liga, excuse me. La
Before
Liga.
he came to MLS.
Yeah.
So let's say that 30% comes true. LAFC doesn't make the playoffs. What do you do to fix it for next season?
We have to bring a big signing because we lost Rossi. We're going to lose Carlos Vela.
Do you think he's gonna? You're gonna?
Yeah, the percentage is 50-50. That's how I feel. It's 50-50. And it's not bad, but it's not great. You know what I mean?
True.
So
literal toss up.
Yeah.
it's literal toss because it depends on him. And let's be honest, he's a family man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So wherever it's going to be beneficial for him and his family to go, I believe that's where he's going to go.
Yeah.
So if it's beneficial for him to stay here, he's going to stay.
Yeah.
But if it's not, he's doing the LeBron James thing right now. You know what I mean? That's what's going on.
So weird because I don't see what would benefit him not staying here. He's such a big star here. He really is.
He can go to Liga MX and be a star there. Yeah, he's just because right now his name is everything. That's what I mean. Like LeBron he's still in his prime. You know what I mean? Is one of the best players in the league. He goes to Liga MX, and if he just does what he did out here, it's going to be the same thing.
Don't you feel though if he goes to Liga MX, he'd be like a smaller, like a medium-sized fish in a really big pond. Like here, he's a big fish in a smaller pond.
Some people are okay with that.
But I don't think
He'd still be the star of the team.
Do you think he would be? Like he'd be the star Cruz Azul right now.
At Cruz Azul?
Yes.
Nah, come on, bro.
Of course not.
You know what I mean?
So think
That's
about
Cruz Azul, bro.
it. Wouldn't you?
But if you put them with, let's say you put them with Monterrey, or you put them with,
If you put it with Chivas, like that team is so crap right now that you'd think they would love to have him, but I don't think he's.
he wouldn't want to go there.
Exactly.
Chivas would want him, but
Right.
he wouldn't want to go there.
I don't even know. Right. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know?
It's just.
I think at the same time too, you have to think about how like internally for these players, they see this stuff day in and day out, and maybe they're just kind of a little over it. You know what I mean? Like for us, it's
Because you got to remember, Carlos Vela is a little older.
yeah, and I feel like for the most part, I think for the outside world, like for us fans of the game and everything, and I think it would make sense for him to stay because it's like you're still the draw. You know, you're still the guy that sells the jerseys, like the marketing. He's on plastered on everything.
LAFC is all about
the
that marketing.
vaccine
Go ahead.
and everything. But
Hey, we're good at it, though.
Yeah. Number one in marketing.
That's right.
Number one in supporter shields in marketing.
But at the same time, internally, maybe he is kind of like, well, it's cool, but it's not really like that exciting for me now in year 4 or 5, and he probably doesn't want to go stale. When Rossi left, I was surprised, but at the same time, I understood it because I think at some point
I wasn't surprised Rossi left.
I was because again, I'm an outsider looking in. I just felt like, dude, like you're kind of the head of this team right now that Vela's out. Like you're kind of the next dude up, but at the same time, I kind of had to remember, oh, dang, this dude's like, what, 23, 24? And
22.
22, yeah, super young. Why not go to Turkey and then maybe a European club grabs you from there because it feels like in the MLS, it's not going to happen. Like, and the years could happen and there's a chance that it just might not even happen. Whereas in Turkey, there's probably a better chance because I'm sure there's some.
And he's a starter right now over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know that some of these like English clubs, European clubs have scouting that.
Well, he was. I don't know if he lost his spot yet.
So they have scouting that goes into all these other leagues that MLS doesn't really focus on, or they don't really focus on MLS. I don't know for whatever reason, but and I know that's part of the MLS kind of I think the issue right now is that I don't think. For as much as they want to be up there, it's like you should also figure out a way to build a bridge with these European clubs.
So what happened? What's going on with MLS? If you look back, how the NHL grew, because the NHL wasn't the Premier League of hockey back in the day.
Yeah,
it was American hockey was not like okay. Now look, everybody wants to come play the NHL. It's the better teams, the better players, the better money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what MLS is going to do. So MLS is growing. So they're going to, all right. Because let's be honest, during this pandemic, if it was like maybe 10, 15 years ago, MLS would have went under.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's be real.
Yeah.
If it was like 10, 15 years ago, MLS would have just went under.
But you admit that MLS was saved by David Beckham signing to the Galaxy. You have to admit that.
Well, now David Beckham owns a club.
Well,
in the MLS.
well, to me, no, because I wasn't. See, because David Beckham came here, it didn't make me want to watch.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But see,
you see what I'm saying? So you can't say that
watch.
you can say that to an extent for the MLS fans that were there watching them.
Right.
It kept them interested.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the people who watch the English Premier League, you know what I mean? Then yeah, or who are like adamant David Beckham fans.
Okay.
You mean those people, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they bring them in. But see, I wasn't like I knew who David because soccer, everybody
Of
like
course.
bend it like Beckham, you know?
So that's why you have to at least admit that, even though it didn't get you, it kept the league going.
It kept the league. It kept those fans that were there, and it brought in maybe a percentage.
And also, if it wasn't for David Beckham, there would be no DP rule. Because he was the reason why they ended up doing a DP thing, because MLS was scared that now all of a sudden the clubs that have money could just come and bring in all these superstars, and they were trying to figure out how to at least restrict that so that it could be kind of even and whatnot.
So sorry, get back to your point about the NHL being like the MLS.
Yeah, MLS is growing still, right?
Right.
Yeah. We're still a young league. It's 25,
26 years.
26 year, right? This year, 26 years. So we're still a young league.
Yeah.
NHL came in the 60s. I want to say the 60s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was the 30s. They expanded in 67.
Yeah, no. Where I mean, they because it was a Canadian league.
Yeah, because it merged where the best hockey's at, man.
It merged with the NHL, and then that's how the NHL came about.
Yeah.
So in the 60s, and then you look at the NHL now, and all the players from Russia, all the players
Right,
from
right.
Yeah.
Ukraine, and
That's true.
all these other countries want to come
Yeah.
and play the NHL. And before it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, before it was, oh, we're going to stay out here in Russia. We're going to play in Canada. We're going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that in about another 10 to 15 years, that's where the MLS will be. The MLS will be the Premier League of soccer.
That's the hottest
That's a hot
take
take.
we've ever
Yeah.
had.
In
10 years.
in-
That's
in 10 to 15 years.
So that's
Yeah.
our lifetime. You
Yeah,
see
in our
this
lifetime,
happen. You see
it will
this
happen in our lifetime. 'Cause in the 60s, you got to remember the 60s, right?
Yeah.
So the 60s, my parents, my dad was born in
Yeah,
the 60s.
yeah.
Right?
Mine too, yeah.
Exactly. So it happened in our lifetime.
I just
Because we got players that are already interested in coming here at the end of their
at the end of their
Yeah.
careers, and
Yeah.
that's
At the
why
end.
I don't see them being interested in the beginnings of their career.
No, so if we fix our cap problem that we have,
That's
if we can
Yeah,
fix
it's a big
that,
part of it. Yeah.
right, and we can draw in more people, because MLS is the biggest growing league in the United States.
Yeah.
MLS is the biggest growing
Yeah.
right now.
I mean, that's because
Mhm.
it's the youngest too. It's still establishing
Yeah,
itself.
so we're still
Yeah.
establishing and we're still bringing in fans, but look how many fans we've gotten. Look how quickly we've grown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got it. We can't grow. Yeah, we can't grow too fast, but in 10 to 15 years, I believe we will be.
But
the
now it's
Premier.
15 years.
No, I
You
said
already
that. I said
said
that. I
You
said that
already
at the
said
beginning.
10.
Did I say? I said 10
you
to
said 10
15.
to 15 the second time.
Okay.
The first time you said 10.
10
Run
to
that back,
15
Donald.
10 to 15 years. In 10 to 15 years, MLS will be the number one.
All right.
Yeah.
I would say if
If
it ever
not, then-
happens, it's going to be 25 years.
If not, if not number one, because it's going to be hard because the culture
In the U.S. or in the world?
in the world.
He said
Okay.
the world,
Yeah.
In the world.
dude.
So I'm thinking. So
Wow.
hold on
so
though.
the
'cause
next
let me,
Messi
let,
is going to come here
let me-
when he's 21.
let me
and stay here.
Let me retract. Because, hold on.
Okay.
You have
So
to.
if we're gonna in 10 to 15 years, we'll be the top 3 leagues.
Okay, in the United States.
No.
Oh wait,
In-
wait a
in the
minute.
world.
So you're saying
So it's going to be
'Cause I
like,
think the
La
cult-
Liga,
because I'm
Premier,
thinking- yeah,
and
'cause
MLS.
I'm thinking the culture wise,
Yeah.
it's there's so much history.
Yeah.
If you go to Europe, there's so much history.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right? And with hockey, there wasn't that much before it left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying with MLS, the history, that's going to be the tough.
Yeah.
That's going to be the toughest hurdle.
But that's why I don't think it's possible to do that in 10 to 15 years. Like it's just not conceivable.
I think it is. I think it is. Nowadays,
then
with
again,
social-
he thinks LAFC has a 70% chance of making the playoffs.
that's not that high though, if you really think
No,
about it.
I'm
Because
just
we're
saying-
we're only one position out away from the bubble.
Yeah.
No, for sure. But I'm not gonna let you get away with what you're saying.
Look,
Because
10
I
to
would love
15
it.
years.
Look at-
You have to
what
make
you're
it
saying-
interesting.
I know, right,
Dude, I will bet you. Look, let's write this down.
No, seriously, because first,
Seriously, so the history is going to be the hurdle, right? Because there's so much
Okay,
history in soccer. So I think
that's not even the biggest hurdle. The
It is.
biggest hurdle you have to get over first is MLS becoming more popular than the NFL, and that's not going to happen.
no.
You want the MLS to be like the top league in the world. First, it needs to be the top league in the United States. And
NHL isn't.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Ah,
It's not
fuck,
the
you're
top
right.
league.
That's a great point.
It's not NHL is
It
not.
doesn't have to necessarily.
Edit that one out.
Huh?
Edit that one out.
No. That's a great point. Though that's
I mean,
a great point. Okay.
and NHL isn't the toppest league.
Okay.
Or you can
And
say
the-
the same thing about the NBA because the NFL is the first.
You know,
And
that's
let's
a great
go here.
point. But you really, I don't know. I would love it. I would love it if the MLS was like a top league.
Okay,
in the
let's do it
world.
this way. Let's do it this way. How you say Beckham saved the MLS, right?
Right.
Look at the NBA, right? Who do they say saved the NBA?
Magic Johnson.
Exactly. How long ago was that? It's not that long ago.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not that long ago.
And now it's a huge.
Larry Bird, Magic Johnson saved the NBA. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
when
was barely
the
born,
TV
so I-
rights came in. That's when advertising became.
Fuck it, maybe
more-
it's going to be in 5 years.
No, I wouldn't push that. No way, bro. Now you're lying.
He ain't even that crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm not that crazy. No, I'm thinking 10 to 15 years
Yeah.
because we have social media, because we have all the
Yes.
advertising.
Mhm.
We have the money. Look at all these people that are coming into the league. Magic Johnson is one of the richest businessmen in the world, and that's why LAFC is doing as
Doing well. Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And we're not even. And let's be honest, we're struggling this season, but yet we still attract the fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
So that's all we need. You
Yeah.
look at the culture you guys have, and yet you still struggle to bring fans in.
That,
You know what I mean?
that's
Shots.
true.
Mhm.
So no, it's not shots. It's just
No,
the reality
it's
of the
facts.
the reality
It's
of the
facts.
sport.
They are
And-
shots, but they are facts.
Yeah.
No, it's
old,
not-
old
it-
money versus new money.
It's
and
not that I'm
shows.
trying to. I'm not taking shots at the Galaxy,
No.
right? It's just I want this. This is what's going on, right?
Yeah.
This is what's happening, and so the new teams. Look at Cincinnati, their stadium. Cincinnati has a
That's
beautiful
true.
stadium. They're a new team,
Yep.
with
Minnesota too.
and they have a following. If you watch their Austin's a perfect
Austin.
example.
Yeah, exactly.
They have a good following.
yeah,
I mean, they have a good. You see, if you watch their games on TV,
yeah,
their fans show up.
yeah.
I mean, and these are new expansion teams. These are the new teams. Seattle is one of the older teams that their fans show up. You mean?
Yeah, the culture is just established there.
Yeah,
already.
Seattle is one of the only clubs that they don't have problems bringing in fans. If you watch, then again, Seattle doesn't have any
Yeah,
other
they have
sports
so
teams
few
besides
teams, too.
Seahawks.
and Mariners. And
You mean? Well, Mariners doesn't draw a crowd either. You mean Mariners
Yeah.
struggle to bring in people?
What I find fascinating from the inside of being a Galaxy fan and just admiring how Austin has all their fans showing up, LAFC has all their fans showing up, and what I think the problem is the front office and the supporters are not on the same page. And you can see that on social media
Yeah.
between the Galaxy supporters writing open letters to the front office, being upset with the front office by having too much police presence, not letting street vendors be there, just not giving the Galaxy fans the experience
So
they want.
it doesn't feel like a community
It
event
does
where
not.
LAFC, you see how many street
Yes.
vendors are there,
Yes.
and the police haggle them, but as long as they're at a certain distance,
Right.
They can't be too close to the stadium. They can be on the Christmas tree lane and all that.
Yeah.
They can be there, but they don't want them too close to the entrance of the gates
Right, to
Right.
allow
Yeah.
traffic
to allow
makes
traffic
total
to flow
sense.
in and out,
Yeah.
and which is understandable. But when you go to LAFC, it feels more like a community.
It
event.
does.
So,
It really-
so that's what I was going to ask you all three, because what is one thing that the Galaxy has that you wish LAFC had?
Championships.
Yeah, you would give everything for those.
Yeah, of course.
What-
Who doesn't want their
What's
team to
one
win?
thing that LAFC has that you wish the Galaxy had?
You want me to
now-
answer that
now?
question for him?
Go ahead.
Everything. I'm just kidding.
No.
Just the ownership. The ownership.
I would say better communication with the front office and supporters, like I mentioned right now, because I feel.
That's
this is
all
outside,
you
that's
wish you
outside
had.
looking in, just outside looking in. That's what
And
it
the
seems
advertising.
like.
What'd you tell me? Our styles for hats and
Oh,
clothes.
that's right.
is a lot better.
just
The
membership.
merchandise.
Merchandise, right? Merchandise. There's just no LA Galaxy gear that I can find. Like really cool styles, really cool. And then when they do have those cool styles, they sell out immediately and they're never restocked.
Yeah.
Like the community kit that D-Bot's wearing right now.
Yeah.
It's great, but it's also gone and it's not even available on the MLS shop anymore. It's like, well, it's a great kit and you guys keep pushing it, but yet you can't buy it
Yeah.
because it's gone. Like, why not make more hats with that style? It's obviously selling well.
Yeah.
But they don't.
What's one thing that you think that you wish your team had that?
The LAFC has.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
The
Yeah,
look
and-
on your face as you ask this question is such a look of just a deviant fucking shit stirrer.
I want to know.
You see why he's
Yeah.
great? He's such a good shit stirrer. I love it. Go ahead.
But it's a good question though, because I was honest. Hey, championships.
Great
we don't
question.
have it.
Great question.
Because that's the main thing that they talk shit about.
Exactly.
Right? Oh, the five
Oh, I
words.
wish your-
Oh, yeah, the
did
five.
you really think I was gonna say I wish your stadium was in LA? No, that's so
No.
No.
But
Not
They're-
even that. I don't even think that's a
But
maybe.
real-
But I thought you were going to say maybe the stadium because it is cool
It's a
looking. I've never
nice
been,
stadium,
but
it
from out.
really does not matter. Does not matter.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say the way they have the supporter section built, where there's like the noise resounding to help
The
out
mics.
migrate.
With the mic.
Just because
It's not Mike's. This guy.
the Victoria Block is like the open air part of the whole stadium, which is annoying that like there's three.
So you
and then the
you
one-
get no echo from it.
No,
it
there
doesn't,
isn't.
Yeah,
So
there,
it's
there,
just
it
the
doesn't
di-
help.
the-
I get what he's saying.
Yeah, so that
But
that's a
another
big part of
thing,
it.
like, so this was my first LA Galaxy game, right? Being an LAFC
Yeah.
fan, my first LA Galaxy, El Trafico, even just attending an LA Galaxy game. I've never been to an LA Galaxy game.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
No, I told you that earlier, remember?
I thought you said you were in the box for. Oh, that was the boxing. You were there for
Oh,
boxing.
the boxing next
Oh,
door.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I've
Oh,
never.
the little
Yeah, for the boxing, you know what I mean? But I've never actually attended an LA Galaxy game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
so yeah, see, that's why like I've never been a Galaxy fan. Like everyone's like, oh, but you probably switched. Like, no,
No,
bro,
no,
I've never
no, it's all
attended an
good.
LA Galaxy game. So my whole thing is with LAFC, and it doesn't happen throughout the whole game, but it happens through the game. Is what I like better is when our supporter section is cheering, a lot of our fans cheer. Throughout the stadium.
non-supporter
Not
section.
supporter section. Yeah. And with LA Galaxy fan, that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it does
true. Why
not.
don't you guys do that?
It does not happen. It's
So
such a big stadium, and it's the echo. We don't hear them very well. We really don't, and we're like, wait, what are they saying? Like, I hear them saying something.
Yeah.
And it just goes up.
And then we have two. Riot
Yes.
Squad is on their own, and
Yeah,
then they have
Riot
their own-
Squad, and then you guys have your Riot Squad. I've heard of the Riot Squad long before I heard of the V Block.
Right.
I never heard of the V Block
Well, the
until
V-Block
this
is new. Like,
this year or last year, I think
Last
it was.
year.
it formed last season. Yeah.
Yeah, and all I heard was I've known of the Riot since I started. Like,
Yeah.
My cousin who used to go to LA Galaxy games.
Yeah.
Julio.
Oh,
He's gone to a few LA Galaxy games, and he told me, he goes, yeah, we sat in the Riot Squad, and so that's why I knew about the Riot Squad.
that's
Yeah.
dope.
I didn't know, like, you mean, but other than that, I wouldn't have known unless somebody, because he told me.
Yeah. Well, the V Block was something that they built, obviously, as a response to 3252. And basically, all they
I know.
it was
And see, that's why I've said they're like, oh well, you guys copied this team. Well,
Dortmund.
Dortmund, yes.
So look at this is how our ownership is. Our ownership sent a lot of our supporters to go look at Dortmund supporting section and follow how they support their team. You mean? And like, hey, like, is that not what?
You know what this sounds like? The plot from Bring It On. Are they recording all their cheers and they're just copying them all?
No,
Copy
but
them all, guys.
they were showing them how like, so they went to a European league and said, well, not their chants, not their cheers, but how do they do it?
Sure.
You know, how do they bring people together?
I've heard many people that the first time they make it to the bank, they're like, oh my God, I have never seen that before. Funny because in Europe, they've been doing this forever, right? But they've never seen it here. So you got to give it to them. That's very smart to bring an experience that's never been here before. And all of a sudden, it's there.
And that's what I'm saying about the MLS growing within 10 to 15 years. They're bringing stuff from Europe, bringing it here without having us have to go to Europe. You know what I mean? So that the experience is already coming here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you have to see the growth in the MLS. You have it's little by little. 10, 15 years is still a long time from now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I said, we'll be it'll probably be MLS as the third top league in the world. And within 10 to 15 years.
So bold.
And it is a bold statement. But that's just because I see the growth in the MLS. Yeah. How many expansion teams have we had in the last 4 or 5 years?
And there's more coming. Sacramento's still coming.
Sacramento, they're talking about Vegas. They're talking about another team. They were saying Arizona, but I don't think it's going to happen because they have to play in a closed stadium.
Yeah.
And we have closed stadiums but I just don't see it happening. Like,
they also need to get rid of the turf stadiums, dude. They really do.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah. I prefer grass as well. Yeah. But it's not everywhere you can put grass.
Yeah.
So you mean it's just that's just the honest truth.
Yeah.
I mean, so
yeah.
Because you look at the new stadiums. What was it? Is it
Minnesota?
Vegas? It's Vegas. The Raiders that have the stadium that rolls out, the field that rolls in and rolls out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can't. How are you going to water that?
No,
that's true.
You know what I mean? Especially if they're thinking of bringing a
I think
team to Vegas.
SoFi's turf too. No,
SoFi's grass.
Is it grass? Oh,
SoFi's grass.
So, and that's another one that the stadium goes down and it gets covered. You know what I mean? So how do you water that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I would love it if MLS was in fact the top 3 teams. So one of the top 3 leagues in the world. So who will be number 1?
Right now, look at the growth from before. There was no doubt Liga MX was better than us. No doubt. Right now, it's about even. Right? Wouldn't you say? I would say.
Well, Columbus did beat Cruz Azul right now for that cup.
Yeah,
that says something.
You mean? So
it's closer, but it's not.
I think we're on an even keel right now. I do. Look, they got what's the goalie from Argentina? You mean?
Oh yeah.
And he's talking about like, oh yeah, it's even, almost even, right?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it's to me, I see it as even.
Mm-hmm.
You mean? Why are you trying to merge both leagues? And the Liga MX wants it. You mean?
More so.
Well, they're doing all these tournaments where they're involving both league clubs in
Which
it,
I think is fun.
like Champions League and
Yeah.
all those other.
And it's
MLS
cool,
games.
and I think it's awesome. But I think if MLS did that, it would dilute our league.
Yeah, that's true.
I highly believe we shouldn't.
yeah,
Like I really think we shouldn't do that. I like the interplay between the leagues. That's awesome.
yeah,
But don't merge them.
Yeah.
It's just gonna. You wouldn't. You mean
that's true.
so?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, credit to the MLS for being able to produce certain players that went on to do really well in Europe, like Alphonso Davies in Vancouver, Weston McKennie from FC Dallas going to Juventus. Was it Tyler Adams that came from?
We have a lot of young players from
Leipzig
from US that
Yeah.
have gone into Europe that are succeeding.
Yeah.
But the thing is, how can we keep those players here? Right.
That's the tough part because I think in the beginning they kind of have to let them go to kind of build the credibility.
But I think it goes back to the culture thing that you're talking about,
And
right?
that's what I'm
Because
saying.
right now it's like if you're good, you can't play here. You have
if
to
you
go somewhere
overseas,
else.
if you go overseas and you talk about basketball, where does everybody want to go?
Yeah,
The NBA, right? And it's because culturally, NBA is better.
Yeah.
They're better. You know what I mean? So we can get over that hump. Like it took NHL a long time from 1920s to the 1960s when they merged with the Canadian League, and then I think it was the 50s they actually merged with the Canadian League, but it took them a while.
Yeah.
You mean to get that, like where Russian players wanted to come here?
That's true.
Because if not, you wanted to play in Russia. You mean? And and they didn't have no USA players playing in Russia because we weren't that good.
And I think when it comes to hockey, I think the biggest moment to watch them was the Olympics.
Oh, right.
And now you can't really say that, right? You kind of like the NHL. The NHL is kind of fun to watch. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
I dread the Olympic break. Like I like I don't mind watching it, but I know that my clubs aren't going to be playing. Like the Kings are going to take.
There's no Mexico.
I mean, that's the thing too, right? Like there's no Mexican. There's no three on ice.
Yeah.
So
there is. They just don't make it.
Oh yeah, that is true. I did recently. You're right. There is a 3 on ice, and they are.
It's too cold.
It's not for us.
Oh man. Well, we'll hopefully we'll have you back within 15 years to talk about how the MLS is like the top 5 league.
1,000? You guys said 1,000? Is that what the bet was?
Or I think the bet needs to be something embarrassing, like LAFC. Like if MLS is like just amazingly better, I will wear an LAFC jersey.
What happens first in 10 to 15 years? LAFC has more championships than you guys, or we're the top 10 and we're one of the top 3 leagues in the world?
Galaxy win more championships.
No. What do you think's gonna happen first?
Well, I guarantee
it's gonna happen.
You
know why?
I will make this bet.
You know why?
Galaxy win another cup within 5 years.
Do you know why? You know Clippers were in California first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
San Diego.
Yes. Okay. Who came over here and dominated?
The Lakers.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Money.
Mm-hmm.
Who has more money? LAFC is the number 1 team in MLS value-wise.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
This is true.
The ownership of the LA Galaxy is AEG. AEG owns part of MLS too.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
But just value. Like the Dallas Cowboys are the most...
But value can be construed a whole different way.
No, net worth. What's their worth?
Net worth, okay.
Okay, what's their worth? LAFC is number 1 in the league. And we have not won a championship.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are you getting the stat from?
Forbes.com.
Forbes?
No. You can look it up. Forbes.edu? MLS. What?
This is Forbes.ca.
I could be wrong because this was
from
from last year, so I could be wrong.
Okay.
But you can look it up. It was on MLS. As far as the
I think you're looking at the estimated value, which is tough because the Cowboys are also rated high because like they would sell for this much, but they're obviously not for sale, but this is what we expect for them to sell for. That's why LFC is expected to sell for so much. That's why I think you're valuing them at. No, that's not necessarily true.
But let's be honest, if it came to money, we could pay the player.
It's a matter of MLS will allow you to pay players. That's a whole nother thing.
When that changes.
Exactly.
Then they will really see who LA real team is.
No, but no, it's true though. It's not about the shiny toy. They're making it new. They're making MLS what it's gonna be, and you guys are still stuck in what it was.
Okay.
Shots.
That's a shot.
That's a shot. That's a shot. But it's true. But it's true because, like you said, your owner and supporter section, they're not on the same page.
They're not.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Ours, they have meetings.
Yeah.
Our supporting section and our ownership, or the person that talks to the ownership, they have meetings with each other. You know what I mean? A lot of
Yeah.
our supporting section, they're involved.
Mm.
They go down to the field. You know what I mean? They talk to the players all the time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they're involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're bringing a culture that's different from you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's fair.
Where you guys need to, that's where you guys need to improve. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because you guys are stuck, the LA Galaxy are stuck in MLS from before,
Yeah.
right?
No, that's fair. That's
You mean?
that's a fair criticism. It's not even a shot. It's a good criticism.
You know, it's true because it's a new culture.
Yes.
And that's what you're trying to bring is that culture of, oh, we got the best. We're, you know what I mean? And not even that we're winning. And like right now, we're both going to be struggling to stay into the playoffs, us get into the playoffs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just that culture of
Yeah.
of their social media, their advertising, it like gravitates you to want to come.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Let's be honest, we're in LA, and how many LA Galaxy stuff do you see?
No, and that's what comes down to the marketing thing.
You mean?
I think the marketing, the
Yeah.
merchandising.
But I think the Galaxy just got stuck with the whole 5 rings thing, and
Yes.
instead of wanting to keep going, it's
Of
like the
course.
Lakers, right?
Of course.
They stopped winning, and what do? We have to get LeBron James because we have to
and
keep
that's
winning.
the Galaxy motto.
And-
Go after a big name.
And look what happened. After, when they were struggling. How cheap were the tickets for the
Yeah.
Lakers? Considering it's the Lakers,
Yeah.
they were cheap.
They were
You
very
mean?
cheap,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then when LeBron came, what happened? They went back up like if Kobe
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
playing.
So you have to keep that attitude of if we want to win, we have to get winning.
And you guys
people.
haven't.
No, that's very fair.
no,
and
Very
you
fair.
guys haven't.
I think Greg Vanny came in with that, and now they're struggling again. And there's this like, why isn't he fixing it? So it's getting really quickly back to like, oh well, fuck it. Like that will to win is gone right now from this team.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre.
And let's be honest, your best player is not your captain.
No,
Your best player is not your captain.
Yeah.
Chicha will never be in my opinion.
well, he's not our captain.
He's
but-
not. But I'm saying Chicha is your best scorer.
Mhm.
And in reality, he is. You know what I mean? But he's just not that leadership type of person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel Vela is. Vela is a leader. I mean, that's why he wears the captain's armband when he goes out there. I mean,
Yeah.
because players listen to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not just that, it's just the type of person you can tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when Vela's out there, he does give 100%. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or tries to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least. You know what I mean?
If it's
From my
hamstring.
perspective. You know what I mean? But the hamstring, like I said, right now I think he's at 80%. He could come back, but it's his choice. He doesn't want to.
Oh, man.
I don't think he wants to.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, I think for the most part, the Galaxy definitely have a lot of pondering to do in terms of like what direction they want to take in terms of like with the club, you know, because at this point it feels like the season's the season. I think I had predicted in the beginning that they'll make the playoffs, but they'll be the last seed in the playoffs, and it kind of is interesting how they're kind of slowly falling into that. And you know what's crazy is that when they were in third place for that stretch, they were like third and then fourth. And there was an opportunity where if they would have won, they would have been first place for that
Right.
1 week at least.
Yeah.
And it made me think like, oh damn, I was wrong, I guess. But now seeing it, be like,
The way the
feel like
way the
like
season
my expectation
started,
is exactly where I wanted it to be.
the way the season
Yeah.
started, this is what I thought. I thought Galaxy was going to be number 2.
Yeah.
Right? And then we were going to be number 7 or 6. I said we're going to be the first round for Galaxy.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I said
Right.
the way that things are going to play out is we're going to be the first round for Galaxy.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we struggled in the very beginning.
My prediction for LAFC was that they have to be at least in the final, because at this point with everything they've put out there and just how the aesthetics have been, it feels like if they don't make it to the final, then
It's a bust.
Then you have to really figure out
It's a bust.
what do you do in terms of like some really hard decisions that need to be made with the club.
So Vela's, like I said, it's 50-50. Antuesta's gone. Antuesta's good enough to go to Europe.
Yeah.
He is. You know what I mean? So I believe if he gets an opportunity to go, he's going.
Yeah.
Right? That leaves us with Brian Rodriguez and
Chicho?
and that's really it. That's our front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we got Blessing. We'd have to sign, I think Blessing's free after this year as well.
Do you still like him?
Blessing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his energy, is just the energy that he brings to
Yeah.
the team is awesome.
Yeah. My
You know what I mean?
critique with Blessing has just been like, I don't think he's that guy that's gonna,
He's never going to be that guy that scores and
Yeah.
that's he's the guy to get you the ball.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, no offense, Pablo, but he kind of reminds me of like a Pat Beverly type. Like he's
No
good in
offense taken.
situations, but like I don't think he's that dude that like really can take you to the, not to say he's going to lead you to the final, but I don't feel like he's part of the core that's going to be able to take you to
Well,
a
I think
final.
you got to give Pat Beverly a lot more credit.
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I mean?
he's great to have.
Yeah.
Pat
he's
Beverly
great
is
to
like
have.
an absolute role player. You know what I mean? Like, Antuesta is not going to score many goals for you, right?
Yeah.
But he's going to give you opportunity to score. He's going to get you the ball,
Mhm.
right? That's what Pat Beverly is.
Yeah, but
I
we're
think-
talking about Blessing.
Blessing.
You know what I mean? But I'm saying the comparison, that's
Yeah.
way off. You know what
No,
I
I
No,
mean,
he was comparing Blessing to Pat
Yeah,
Beverly.
because he
Yeah, that's what I'm
reminds me
saying.
of,
Okay.
of Pat Bev, where it's like he has this hustle about him that's really admirable, and you're like, damn, like and he doesn't care, like he just does this thing, he goes out there, does it. But then sometimes I feel like it can kind of inhibit and kind of sabotage sometimes certain plays. And I mean, and maybe it's just me because every time they play the Sounders, it feels like it's very obvious that he's not even a factor.
So
And
I
then,
like when
you know.
Blessing is on the side of Muhan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the way they play together, I think is good with Antuesta. K, we had to get rid of. He was really struggling. See, Fuentes is on that point right now. Like he's really struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, because he started really well in the season, and then he's kind of like falling off. You know what I mean? Palacios, I think, is one of our better players as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can play in the defense and also move up. You know what I mean? And be part of the attack. But other than that, like we would, if we lose Vela and Antuesta, we'd have to bring somebody in. Brian Rodriguez, he has his moments, but a lot of his moments are just like that could have been.
Yeah. Would you want LAFC to get like some sort of star player? Because I feel like the only dangerous part of it is that then you'll fall into the Galaxy trap of signing star players, and maybe they not pan out, maybe they do, you don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's.
I feel if we can get a star player and a good role player, then I feel like we would do fine.
Okay.
But we if we were just getting like a star player and then just keeping the pieces around us, no.
Mm.
I mean, we like if we can get a star player and a role player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we can have a striker and a wing player.
Yeah.
I think we'd be fine. But if we just go for a striker and keep the things the way they are, then no.
Yeah. And how do you feel about Bradley?
If we make the playoffs this year, I say give him another shot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If we don't, all right, then let him go.
Okay.
I mean, because he's never missed the playoffs. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
He's never missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if he misses the playoffs and
He's like Patrick Beverly.
yeah, so if he misses the playoffs, cut him. If he doesn't, then
That's gonna be so crazy to see it Piojo on your guys' sideline next year.
he better not. I'd be so mad.
What happens first? MLS's top 3 league in the world, or Piojo's your LAFC head coach?
I'd probably think. No, I don't think he would come to MLS.
I don't
honestly.
think so. He talked a lot of shit about MLS, right?
Yeah. I don't think he would come. Yeah.
I could see him.
If he does, it'd be a surprise because he does talk a lot of bad mess about the MLS.
Oh wow.
About how
He does.
I
yeah,
didn't even know.
yeah, we're like a garbage league or
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
He's gonna coach freaking Cincinnati FC. I can't wait.
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
All right. Well, I mean, thanks for coming by.
No, no
Appreciate
problem.
you, Pablo,
Anytime.
D-Bot, obviously spending
yeah.
time with us.
Of course.
And within 15 years, we'll have you back on to talk about MLS being the top league.
One of the
world.
top 3.
Well, the top league.
As long as it's
No,
the top
you said
3.
Top league. You said the
Top
top
3.
league.
I know, but I said I retract because I said
okay.
because the history. That's the only reason. Because it's hard to get over that history, right?
Yeah.
Because for example, like Clippers could win 3 championships in a row, right? And still be the second son of the LA
Yeah.
because they're not the Lakers.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what's hard to get over. It's the
Right.
history.
Yeah.
It's that
Mhm.
it's
And history itself
But don't-
takes time.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. But don't you change the culture in LA though first, right? Like 3 straight championships. The culture is going to shift. It
Yes,
is
but not
inevitable.
enough.
not enough. Not
I
enough.
mean,
Yeah.
It's like the Yankees, right? It's like the
Yeah.
Yankees and the Mets, right?
yeah.
So the Yankees have 27 championships. How many do the Mets have?
What do they have? Like 3?
Yeah, it's not a Mets city. You know what I mean?
That's New York is not a Mets.
New York
Yeah.
is a Yankee city.
Yeah,
You
for
mean?
sure.
Yeah.
So
Well, Queens is a Met city.
I don't know.
It's
Is
like
it?
Mets borough.
Man City, Man U. You know what I mean?
Like
Like
Reds.
right now, well, in the past couple seasons, Man City was, Pep was guiding these guys, and it felt like, oh shoot, and it felt weird seeing Man U being like in the shadow, and now it
Man
feels
City.
like Man U's up there. And
Why does it feel like Man U's up there again? Who came to the team?
Well, Ronaldo. You know,
What happened? What? No, but what happened when Ronaldo got there?
To wait.
Now,
I thought you were talking
recently,
about
recently,
City.
though.
Oh, to United.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ronaldo, but it was also
10 million followers within 10 minutes of his signing. New
That's
followers.
right. I could see that.
Their stock did go up that day too.
They did. Yeah, it
You
did.
see? That's what I'm saying. It's the star players, like
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
What happened with the Lakers when the jerseys? I mean,
I thought
I've been watching PSG.
Have you really? I've been watching PSG a little bit too.
I seen
early.
one game of PSG. I've never seen a PSG game before.
Me either.
I watched
But you
one
know-
because Messi.
But
Yeah.
but that's
Of course.
that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
But also when you see their games, that their kits are freaking amazing with the Jordan shorts they're wearing, like the Jordan logo on their jersey. It's
But
like,
that's the
damn,
only
dude.
team.
Right, of course. I have
the
no
only
other
team.
teams that
That's the only team that have Jordan logo. This is the PSG.
right.
They
And
make
that's
he
amazing.
makes shoes for them. He makes, you know what I mean? That's why you have like the PSG Jordans, the retros that are they're not retro, but the retro shoes and the
Yeah.
PSGs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is now going to be a PSG podcast, just so you know, going forward. This is the
Yeah.
last episode of West Box Score. That's it for us this week, guys. See ya.
Later.
Later.
Bye.